Hey AB students, in this video I'm going to show you how to graph the derivative. So this is something that a lot of students struggle with. Even some of my best calculus students somehow cannot do this. So I'm going to try to break it down for you and give you some tips for graphing the derivative. So here's the problem. You're given a function, y equals fx. You're given the graph of it right here. The question is, how do you graph the derivative? So the goal, in pink, we want to graph y equals f prime of x. So the goal, graph this one. Okay, so where to start? Well, how are you supposed to think of the derivative? So f prime of x, remember this is the slope of f of x. This is our interpretation for f prime. So a good place to start is, where is the slope of this graph, of this function, equal to 0? Well, there's a couple easy places. Right here, you can see that the tangent line has slope 0. Right here also, the slope is equal to 0. And right here, there's also another horizontal tangent where the slope is equal to 0. So right here. So what this means is that at these 3 points, these are going to be zeros of the derivative graph. So however my pink graph looks, well, I know it goes through this point, and this point. So one good thing to do, I'll keep track of it down here. Here's my number line. We know that the derivative is 0 here, 0 here, and 0 here. What I'm going to keep track of is, I'm going to keep track of the sign of the derivative down here on this number line. So what do I mean by sign? Well, by sign I mean either plus or minus. So in this piece, so what's the derivative? What's the slope of that yellow curve? Well, it's going down. The slope is negative. So here I put a negative. Okay, from this point to this point, what's the slope of that yellow curve? Well, it's increasing, it's going up, so the slope is positive. From here to here, what's the slope? Well, it's the function's increasing, it's going up, the slope is positive again. How about from this point to the end of the graph? Well, the function's going downwards, so the slope is negative. So this tells us that the derivative starts out in the negative direction. It's going to go to 0. It's going to go to positive. It's going to go back down to 0. It's going to go to positive again. It's going to go back down to 0. Then it's going to become negative. So at this point, it's just a matter of sort of putting this into a nice picture. So we're starting negative. The slope here is negative. It's gradually getting to 0. Something like that. From here to here, well, slope is getting positive. It's getting very steep through here, so maybe we're going way up, but now it's got to go back down to 0 at that point. But look, we're turning around. So we go from positive to 0 back to positive. So we're going to go up again. The slope's increasing. Back down to 0 at this point, and then after this 0, we're back into negative. So in pink here, I have the graph of the derivative. So you're going to get a lot of practice with these in class. So try to consult this video if you need tips on doing this.